Hello survivors and welcome to another video. In today's video we are going to be playing on Jotunheim, which is in the beta version of the game, so if you don't want spoilers then you know this isn't going to be the video for you. So spoilers ahead, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the beta, so we've got the new map, new things to see, and a new mode which we'll be doing during the week known as Endless. But for now, we got a bit of a notice over here saying beta information, that this is the beta, therefore content is not final, and you're going to find bugs or content that has not yet been implemented, such as sound. So, notifying them through the Discord in the beta section is the way to get these issues fixed. So if you aren't part of the Discord, press F to become part of the Discord and join us in our community and finally find out if we can find Olga. Anyway, had to put that there. So here we go. We're going to go with the skill tree over here. One of my elemental damage skill trees. Fire is very strong in this realm that we're going to be playing. So that's what we go for over there. I think with fire being strong, we're going to be playing an iron hammer build on Axle Door. We will be double ascending the boots. I haven't done it yet on Axle Door either, so that's going to work out pretty well for, the both of us. So first things first, Jotunheim has something called a freezing curse. As time passes, you'll begin to freeze, reducing your attack and movement speed and increasing cooldown with each attack. We warm up our body staying close to bonfires to lower the freezing status. So the max is 5 stacks. And obviously, I believe it was 5% per stack, but that could be a little bit more different. I'm not 100% sold on the 5% just yet. We were told 5%, but it was as a like a guard. The person who told us wasn't 100% sure, and they need to find out the exact figure for us. But I mean, we could actually just check if we stay away from a bonfire. Let's just quickly see what the exact figure is and we can go from there. So just kudos to the devs. The game, the actual realm looks really good, and it is 10% to attack and cooldown and 5% to movement speed per stack. So that's 50% less cooldown and attack speed, which is actually really big. That is going to hurt you if you do not look, if you don't keep it up. So that's a really bad negative, especially if you land up getting a lot of tonics and get a negative like attack speed or movement speed from them, and then you've also got this negative movement speed, attack speed, and cooldown reduction from or increased cooldown reduction in this case, from having this frozen curse on you. So the most important thing about the frozen curse, I would say, is to make sure that you don't have it up when you are fighting the mini bosses as well as the actual boss. But also to know, we will see in this video as well that before we fight the bosses, before we fight the final boss, as well as after you have fought the mini bosses, there are bonfires in the shop. So we do just need to make sure we go to the shop, and if you don't have that, if you don't have the, what's the wording I'm looking for? If you don't have the stacks gone from the freezing curse, then you can at least make sure it is gone before you fight the final boss at least. Or before you enter the new realm, you can make sure you don't have the curse on. So this is Expert, not Ragnarok. You will see, compared to my other Ragnarok videos, this is going to be a slightly easier run. But again, there are new enemies and new bosses, so there are different mechanics that you still have to learn. And hopefully we don't instantly kill anything, so we can really get a good view of what they like. I know we're not going to kill the final boss immediately, which is fantastic because we don't actually want to kill him immediately. It will be nice to see how he interacts with you and what he does, and that's going to be a really interesting thing to show everyone. So stay tuned. We will add chapters into this as well, so you can kind of just go to the boss fights if you do want to, or you can kind of see the whole entire playthrough to see all the enemies as well as how I spec Axeldor. So yeah, sit back, relax and enjoy. Right, as you can see, I am hugging the bonfire. I don't really want to have to deal with the repercussions of having the stacks of cold on me. I can actually go to the other shrines though. There's no reason for me not to. We don't need the electric charm and to get hurt from it just yet. Maybe when we get our... If I went Fury, then we would go for that, but I don't build that on Axeldor, so it isn't something that I need to worry about per se. But a lot of people will love that in Endless mode, especially if you're playing on Axeldor. You can literally just get infinite damage by hurting yourself on that part of the shrine. So very nice to grab that if you do like that type of gameplay as well. Let's go grab these shrines over here. We're still only on 2 levels of the freezing curse, which is fun. Pretty easy to get rid of it. It does go away relatively quickly, but I do believe you gain it faster than you do get rid of it as well. So, you know, just a thing going over there. Now, because Jotunheim is like the giant's realm, as you can see, there are the big enemies. They aren't elites like they would have been in other maps. These are just standard enemies. What would have been really interesting is maybe if they made every single enemy massive. I don't know if they can, just gameplay wise and the engine handling that, but it would have been really interesting if they did. Like imagine a huge massive owl now, like you know when you're playing on Ragnarok and the enemy has the negative effect or the giganticism buff on them, they get really big. But if they could add that to like as a buff on every single character or every single enemy in this case on this map, that would be pretty funny and kind of lean more to a giant's realm than, you know, these birds, the owls and these icicle ball things have. So just a personal opinion. I mean, they look really awesome. But maybe bigger? I don't know. Just my opinion over there. Alright, we need damage as the final thing. So we're gonna just wait for that. And we will then ascend the boots. As you can see, I haven't ascended the iron hammer just yet. It isn't necessary damage-wise to do that. We might not even have to ascend the boots just yet, with the off chance that we'll end up getting a reset in the shop. I mean, I don't really mind if we do or don't, so I am going to ascend the boots regardless. But as you can see, we do have the necessary damage to not really have to worry about ascending our boots. So if you think you have a reset and you really want a reset, then make sure you're grabbing more gold than I am. Alright, hopefully by the time this video is out, there are some of the bugs fixed that have already been stated. There is quite a big thing in Endless at the moment where, because of the engine, the game does lag quite heavily, especially since you can get absolutely everything in the game in a run, and you land up resetting every single weapon in the game except for one of your Constellation Ancient Relics. But if you land up getting every single boss relic to level 20, it just becomes insane with all the projectiles and everything that gets put on the screen. So, you know, that is one thing about the Endless. We need to kind of figure out a way of making it just that little bit more optimized. I'm not sure how to do that. I'm not a developer of the game, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, I'm happy to not be a developer. I don't know the first thing about developing, but it would be extremely nice to have that as a thing to work on. So, I don't know. let me know what you think about the endless mode, if you have played it yet. If you just enjoy watching my videos and you have no idea what's going on, I will be making a video sometime in the coming week. Maybe I'll put it out on Sunday even, where we speak about what exactly Nordic Ashes is, and it will be more like a beginner's guide and what the game is. So we will be releasing a video on that, and hopefully we can get everything down. Hopefully I'll cover everything, and if I don't, you'll just have to let me know, and we might have to make a part 2 to it. So you know, we'll do our best to make sure we get everything in the beginner's guide. So do keep an eye out for that, and we will hopefully be able to answer every single question someone may have on the game. Oh, she's fast. Run away. So this is why, or one of the enemies you have to kind of be worried about. Oh, also they did re-add the boss rage bar, so as you can see, it is above the health bar, it is the blue bar, and I've never really had the chance to go over the skulls, so I have no idea what happens when they get there, but there is also a timer showing you that in 4.5 minutes the boss is going to go mad and probably one-shot us. But again, we didn't really have the opportunity to even show you how that works, and we got ourselves a golden mushroom, so that is fantastic. What a lucky first shop over there. So we're going to go for the combustion, and we will grab the 1 life. We can't really do much more than that. Maybe urchin was better. It's the same thing, but an empty heart container. So actually the cookie is better in this case. Alright, so now we can ascend our boots again, and we're going to go for Fury. I personally like it better than not Fury, I'm going to go for Berserk. I personally like it better than Fury, just giving us cooldown and attack speed. Obviously attack speed doesn't affect the boots, but having it does help a lot with the damages. So that's actually a really nice Infinity Whirlwind upgrade that we can get over there. So that's gonna play a very big role in the final boss. Now with the final boss, just a suggestion is always take every single character's ultimate. The final boss, when we get to it, you will see why I say that, and it's just, it really is a big bonus to it. So let's grab 15% movement speed. It minus our cooldown, that's okay, not such a big issue. We were on 100% cooldown, we're now on 90%. Not such a big loss over there. We are much happier with the movement speed. So now we got to go check what this time shrine is over here, and it gives us Immunity Destroyer. So if you are playing Halfgrim or even Helga, and you are looking for the perfect relic for them, for this map, the perfect relic, and for most maps in fact, is the Immunity Destroyer. And the reason for that is these guys are immune to freeze, and both Helga and Halfgrim have freeze, and a lot of freeze in their kits. So with Helga, it is obviously only if you're playing the Tarot deck, but with Halfgrim it is his entire Ice Codex ability. So if you landed up getting the Immunity Destroyer, that would obviously make you a lot stronger, and obviously dealing a lot more negative effects to the enemies, such as our burn and freeze, as well as poison and even paralysis. So definitely a top tier relic to look for when you are playing certain characters. In this case, it's very good as well, because our boots burn enemies, and when the enemies are burnt, they do explode. So you know, it's really good for that as well. I believe it was that exact wording. Let's just have a look here. So burnt enemies by this relic explode after dying. So yes, they do have to be burnt, and therefore it's going to just, you know, deal a lot more explosive damage to enemies when they are in groups. So really good to have that Immunity Destroyer. It just makes sure that every single enemy hit by the Bronze Boots is going to get burnt. Woo, that's fantastic. So we're just going to get rid of our stacks. I think we had quite a lot there. I didn't even see. I think we were on 4 or 5. So we're now down to 2 already, down to 1. There you go, we gained some stats, but for some reason there seems to be a bug. Oh no, it's not bugged. I don't know what happened there. It said minus to our attack speed, so we'll keep an eye on that for the future when we do get more stacks. Something weird is going on. Oh, I think it might be because of Fury. I mean, not Fury, Berserk. I think there's something going on with I had Berserk up or not. But as you can see, we're on 45% attack. Let's see what happens. I think we had Berserk up, so the stats were going a bit crazy on the side. We still don't have it up. It's gone down to 35 and now it went up to 95 because of Berserk. So we'll wait for Berserk to run out and then we'll get rid of our stacks so that we can see, okay, this happened and this is what is happening. So there we go, we're on 35. Actually, I do want to see, because I'm sure it was on 45 and we haven't increased the amount of stacks that we have in Jotunheim yet for the freezing curse. So let's just increase this by 1 more. I think it's going to go up and then down again. It did go up and then down again, but we did get, again, our Berserk just procced. So it should be 25% when Berserk ends. But let's just double check that, and we also need to start getting rid of the stacks because of the enemies. So yes, it's on 25%. Let's start getting rid of our stacks because we now have the elite spawning very soon. I mean the boss, mini boss, or whatever you want to call it. I call them mini bosses, but oh, we don't actually, I mean, I don't think they really have a name to them. But anyway, we're going to get rid of all of our stacks because the boss is coming up. It does seem to be working fine. I think the issue I was having was Berserk was proccing or going off, and there was a lot of plus and minus and I wasn't really paying attention to that. So no bugs there. This is the kind of thing you got to do when you're playing it, to try and notice these things. Bit difficult with the type of background. The white on the blue is quite difficult to see, but it's still noticeable. And at least the enemies here, I don't think any of them kind of sink into the background, kind of like how they did on Alfarm. There's 1 or 2 enemies on Alfarm that you kind of find hard to see depending on the background, or at least their attacks. But in this one, the owl's attack is red, so you're always going to see it, and the rest of them don't actually have projectile attacks to hit you with, so you don't have to worry about a projectile coming in and attacking you unless it is one of the bosses like the one we are about to fight. So you'll see he has projectiles, and we're going to show you how you can fight him if we don't kill him too quickly, because that's also an option that's there. So his first attack is actually like a rain of icicles. There you go, you can see them over there. His next attack is a bit harder to see. It's this one over here. He creates these glacials around him. You can stand between them, but they are difficult to see. So you might get hit by them without even knowing. So there's a good chance that the guy is going to hit you with that attack. My suggestion is, if you feel like he is doing it, just stay away from him. So there you go, he did do it, and we safe because we kind of stayed away from him, like I mentioned. So again, go for the flint, more burn damage, that's fantastic. We don't need the attack speed, so we're going to reroll here. We'll get the miscellaneous one and the laugh, and reroll one more time. This is probably going to hurt me. No, it didn't, so that's okay. And we can grab ourselves the potion. We don't really need anything else over here. Grab a burning card, it's okay. Alright, so there is still more things to come. Again, like I said, we will be doing the endless run during the week sometime, just so we can see what it is like, or how many seeds we can farm in it, and enemies as well, because you know the bestiary is still a thing with the leaf farm, and killing X amount of enemies gives you more leaves, and because we have a new area, that's even more leaves from that. As well as the leaves from your actual characters. So you know, lots of leaves to be had by playing the new mode with absolutely every character. And if you'd like to see a specific character in this area, specifically playing without leaves, or at least minimal leaves, so I think we can at least put leaves into, let's say, our map. So I'm gonna do like a minimalist leaf build for all of the areas. I think we can do maybe like 30 leaves or 50 or 60 leaves and go from there. I do have an idea for it in mind of which ones to use, or what parts of the tree to put the leaves in. And if you haven't guessed it already, it's going to be mainly in our exploration tree. And the reason for that is the nice start, as well as having your mini map show everything, is probably two of the most important things in the game. One, just so you don't waste time trying to find certain things, and then two, it just helps with the you know, getting your damage up in the very beginning, because that is extremely important, especially when you are playing on expert. So getting nice start, having those 10 levels really does make a difference between whether or not you can or cannot finish the realm, or whether or not you're going to die in the early game. So it is much of a necessity having the nice start. I don't remember how many leaves it uses to get it all the way to 5, so that you have the 10 levels in the beginning. That's just something we got to check. And then I think it was something like 15 leaves for the map and everything on it. So we'll double check all of that, but do keep an eye out next week for the beginner guide as well as expert runs on the characters with as little leaf as possible, or at least a little bit of investment in the tree, but not a lot. So everyone should be able to do expert with the trees that I will be sharing, and it's just going to be a very helpful way of playing the game. So hopefully it helps, but there is some form of a little bit of skill. Knowing what the enemies do and how to dodge their attacks is also important. So you might not be able to do it first time. I might not be able to do it first time either. I still got to kind of add bloopers to the channel as well. I think everyone would love to see me getting beaten to a pulp by some enemies. So definitely something else that we are working towards as well on the channel. Alright, now along with Immunity Booster that we spoke about earlier, Astrid Shield as well as Ragnar's Shield are probably two of the best defensive items. Aegis Helmet is also extremely good because it makes you take less damage. And while we're on the topic of damage, as you can see at the top below, the wave timer does let you know how much damage the mobs are going to be doing. Now when we talk about damage, we are talking, although it says -2 to the hearts, that is only 1 heart, because usual damage is a half a heart of damage. So when they say -2, they actually mean it's a whole single heart damage, and the /-3 is what the boss or the elite damage would be, and that would be 1.5 hearts of damage. So just so you understand what that means, that is what it is. So just some information popped into the video near the end. You know, you've got to make sure you watch the entire video, otherwise you're going to miss out on important information. Right, so time for the final boss. We've got going on over here. 22.5 minutes. It's not bad. It's not the quickest thing, but we did spend a lot of time in the shop and doing our constellation. So here's the final boss. As you can see, he is standing still. He has 2 noticeable attacks. So this is the first one. He drops icicles from the sky. He then does... Oh, I've never actually seen that attack. That's really cool. So good thing I'm taking it slow. I'm not going to use Infinite Whirlwind just yet, because I have been wanting to see all of his attacks, and it is nice to see all of them. So he had an attack over there. He did also close his fire, if you had a look over there. Ooh, I haven't seen this either. He's got like a little laser beam. Ow. Okay, so the laser hurts you. So that's a cool one. You cannot hit him while he has his hands closed like this, and you do need to kind of get yourself out of the way of his glacial attack as well. He does have one more attack. I haven't seen him use it yet. Oh, there we go. He just used it. So he closes his fists and then he shoots out a Ice Codex sort of attack. So, you know, very interesting boss fight. Really cool, different attacks that come out of him. And you just look, normally we could have killed him a lot quicker if I just procced Infinite Whirlwind, but I did want to show everyone all the different attacks that the boss has. So he closes his hands for his one attack, he shoots laser beams for the others, and then it is just obviously glaciers as well as his fists flying. So the hardest one will probably be the glaciers to dodge. The rest of them seem to be pretty easy, although when there is a lot of the falling icicles, you will probably end up getting hit if you're not in an open space. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe survivors. Until next time, cheers.